I'm literally pissed the fuck off. It takes me 2 hours on the road to get to work. Like, I've never signed up for this shit. Never in life. Hey loves, it's your soul sis Zeta, and I wanted to just come on and let you guys know what's been going on, because it has been officially 35 days since I quit my job, and I'm on my way to go pick up my baby from daycare, and it feels so good to be able to go and pick him up on time. I don't have to be exhausted or extremely late because I'm in traffic, or motherfuckers better leave me the fuck alone today. That's all I know. That's all I need to know. When I get to work, shut the fuck up, leave me alone. I know I'm a half hour late, but guess what? I'm not going to just sit down and get straight to work, because I've been on the road for 2 fucking hours commuting to this motherfucking office. My ass hurt. I'm tired. My eyes are itchy, puffy, and red. I'm already feeling like I wish a motherfucker would. Don't come for me today. Don't fucking bother me. Don't come to me with your long ass winded voice, just talking a whole lot about nothing. Like, I'm just not for it today. Not today. Anything. It's just pure ease, pure peace, and I feel so connected with myself now that I've quit my job. So, kick back. This is a little story time while I talk about what happened with me and my last job. Now, first of all, let me just say this. I've been a serial entrepreneur all my life, from as early as I can remember. I mean, from having a lemonade stand at 7, selling chocolate, going door to door selling chocolate, selling phones. I mean, I've always done some type of hustling. I mean, my mom is a workaholic. She's always been a workaholic my whole life. And my dad is a hustler. So me, I'm just like a baby of both. So that has always been in my blood. However, you know, throughout life, of course, I've worked, and the type of jobs that I've taken, I've always wanted to learn something from my job. Like, I was very intentional, even from an early age, of choosing jobs that I actually wanted to do or wanted to learn from at that time. So for the past 6 years, I've worked in property management because I was pursuing my real estate license, and I wanted to learn the ins and outs of property management. So I started as a property manager for a friend of mine, and decided to work with a company and learn the leasing process and just kind of work my way up. So I worked my way up to being an assistant property manager, and I've been doing that for the past 3 years. But through becoming a new mom again and getting pregnant, when I got pregnant and went on maternity leave, I was like, you know, I need to do something to still make money. And I really wanted to invest in my project, which is the Twisted Healer business, which I think I'm going to rebrand the name, because what feels more right, and what I've always said is I'm your soul sister. So I'm thinking about changing the name to Soul Sis Zeta, because that's just me. But anyway, I've been really wanting to focus on my spiritual brand, and my products and my content and all of that. And I'm like, and I'm also thinking of opening a cafe. So I was like, oh, you know, maybe I want to focus on this. And, you know, it's been a process, and that's fine. So after my maternity leave, I returned to work. And mind you, at the time I was living in Georgia, and I ended up taking a position in California, which is where I am now. So I ended up I moved up here in January. This technically is like a new position, because now I'm at a new office in a new state, and, you know, around new people. So it's getting to know this whole office, this whole dynamic from scratch. This is straight from the beginning. So I had to, it's basically like having a new start date. So I was under a probation period, a 90-day period. Now, before I left and moved up here, the commute said it was only 40 minutes. However, it did not tell me what it was during traffic time. During traffic time, it's an hour and 40 minutes, literally. So I found myself getting up at 5 a.m. just to make it to work by 9 o'clock. That was killing me, especially with the now 5-month-old baby. And, you know, my son's father is in a different state. So I'm currently working around this being a single mother, being a full-time single mother, and then calling myself working full-time, commuting, dealing with the crying, dealing with, you know, his fussiness when he was fussy, or just needing to feed and be there for him, to nurture him. And I literally had no time to nurture myself. So during the week, what my schedule looked like was waking up at 5 a.m., getting in the shower, getting dressed, getting the baby up, getting him dressed, which sometimes that, you know, he needed to be nursed. It could be anything that would come up during that time. And then, you know, packing his stuff up, making sure packing his diaper bag, he has what he needs, and dropping him off at daycare by 7:30 and getting to work by 9. And it's so funny because before I took the job, when I met with the daycare lady, I was like, yeah, you know, my hours should be 8 to 6:30. I should be able to pick him up by 6:30. And she was like, well, where are you working at? And I was like, oh, I'm working over in San Ramon. She was like, oh, no, you're not going to get here by 6:30. She was like, we need to adjust the hours because that is not going to work. And luckily, she was so sweet and so kind to actually work and extend the hours for the same rate of pay, because she understands the traffic here. And let me tell you something, I'm from Cali, but I moved away 10 years ago. I've been in Georgia and Atlanta for the past 10 years, and I think I maybe forgot about the traffic. I got so accustomed and used to the Georgia traffic and, you know, how everything works in Atlanta. So I completely forgot about that beast. It is nothing nice. And I found myself so depleted, so exhausted. And I was like, I can't do this. I found myself crying and feeling drained all the time. And, you know, as I'm looking at everybody else commutes here. Like, you live in the valley and you work in the bay because that's where the money is. But if you want to live good, live nice, and live in a cheaper area, you move to the outskirts. So luckily enough, I moved here with my family because, you know, having a small baby, I felt like it would be better to be closer with my mom and, you know, kind of work on some family stuff and be able to work. I didn't want to come here without taking a job. So I made sure that was set in place, but I was just not aware of the commute and all the layers of responsibility that would be on me. So that was just way too much for me. So throughout the 90 days, I stuck it out, and I found myself becoming addicted to coffee, needing caffeine literally as soon as I made it to the office, whether I was on time or not. That was my way of coping, of unwinding and de-stressing and getting ready for the day. So starting the day with a cup of coffee, dehydrating myself, and becoming addicted to sugar. And that, with the combination of barely working out, which I was used to working out every day, every morning, that was cut out. So no working out, gaining weight, beating myself up, resenting myself, starting to become, I don't want to say resentful towards my baby. I wasn't resentful, no. But I was very stressed. I was just so stressed. Like, sometimes I would just close myself in the bathroom and just scream or just cry. You know, having to come home from a long ass commute and then make it to the daycare. I have my little time with him. I'm able to cook a little dinner, a small dinner, have maybe an hour with him, put him in the bath, put him in the bed, and then we get in bed by 10 and do it all over again. So that cycle was vicious. The traffic was atrocious. And I was like, you know what? This is not working out. This is not for me. And it really pushed me. It pushed me into knowing my limits, knowing my strength, and knowing my resilience. And I'm very, very appreciative and thankful for that. So by the time I reached my end of the 90-day period, I did put in my notice. And they loved me at my job. The office team that I had was very sweet. It was a lot of work because they were so far behind, so they needed me there. And that was another thing, is that they really relied on me heavy. And of course my baby really relied on me as well. And I'm like, okay, my baby is permanent. He's a fixture in my life. But this, something's gotta give. I signed up for the job, but I didn't sign up for that commute. But I know God put me there for a reason, because I needed that test of strength and test of faith and patience, and that boost into pushing me to bet on myself, to know that I got myself, like I can save myself. And I'm really, really grateful for that. But yeah, I decided that I'm gonna go full force in my business, take it serious, pour into it every single day, and just trust the process. And yes, it is scary. It's unpredictable. It's not this linear trajectory where I know the outcome. I know where I'm headed, I know where I'm going and where I want to be. However, the day-to-day looks different, but I do know that I feel better within myself. I feel happier, I feel more rested. I'm able to exercise and take care of myself and eat right and make better decisions for me and my baby. Of course, my family thinks I'm crazy. Of course, they're like, why would you quit your job without having something else lined up? Everybody loves the security, the illusion of security of what a job brings. But I'm like, for what I'm being paid, I deserve way more. I deserve way more. I'm sorry. Like, I deserve more than, 30 something an hour, and I just want to pull myself from being paid for a job that I'm barely getting by with. It's just not adding up. It's not making sense. And so I had to have that talk with my family and let them know that I'm going full force in my business. Yes, it's a creative venture. Yes, I'm doing content creation. And the job doesn't look like your normal job. But guess what? We live in a digital world where, there's so much opportunity online. And it's a world that, our parents, a lot of them don't understand, but that's okay because they have us here to teach them. And so with that, they kind of decided to be on board with it. So it's one of those positions to be in that is very unpredictable. It is kind of scary. You don't know what's going to happen day to day. And my day-to-day looks different. Sometimes I'm content creating and recording videos. Some days I'm editing or writing or working on my website. But it's so much fun. I find so much fulfillment, so much happiness in what I do now. And that is the rewarding part for me. So I'm just trusting the process, trusting the flow, and doing what God has called me to do. And I'm going with that. And what I do as a single mom is I try to get most of my work done while he's at daycare. And when he's home, that's when I just miss him and I just love on him, and I'm so present and happy to spend time with him, happy to cook his meals and play and, have that dedicated space for him. And I find that now that we're in this routine together, it is so much more balanced and harmonious. So to anyone who is thinking about quitting their job so that you can have more time and space for yourself, I encourage you to do it. It's not worth it to waste your life away. Like, anything can happen. So it's not worth sitting at a job that you're completely unhappy with, and you know that your spirit is calling you to do something else. So this is your wake-up call. I'm betting on you now to go ahead and do what you got to do for yourself as well. And needless to say, God has been making a way. Okay, I've been doing a lot of freelance work, gig work, you know, just to put money in my pockets and make sure that we're good. And you know, where your attention goes is where your energy flows. And money has been showing up for me in spaces where I'm like, oh, you know, where I just check my card one day and there's $800, and I'm like, oh, okay. You know, so I feel like once you make a decision and commit to it, spirit will move mountains and move figures out the way and in the way, usher in what's needed and usher out what doesn't. And you know, fortunately, it has been showing me, you know, that I am supported and I got this. I'm also really excited. I just published my very first book on Amazon. It's called The Shadow Shift, which is a shadow work guide with all workspace journal in the back. I'm really excited. It will be live in the next 72 hours. Once it's live, I will post the link in the description box as well. But I do have some books that I'm going to be putting out that I'm really, really excited to share. But yeah, that's my little small talk. I'm about to run in and get my baby. And I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye.